And I'm hoping you're hearing me. I think. Okay, I think you're hearing. Oh yeah. So, hello everyone, and welcome again to another stream of me reading yeah, of me being a coping mechanism with fanfiction from My Hero Academia. Oh well, it's been a while. I think 2 weeks since the last stream, and I'm now working on the third chapter of If I Was in My Hero Academia. And yeah, that's like all the news I have. So with no more. Oh wait, I'm no. My yeah no. That's sorry. I it's because I what is happening to me? Why can't I talk? I was like a bit cut off because I wasn't seeing myself like my miniature me, but then I remember I changed the scene to just be the GIF and my socials. The things, my brain is just it's just having its time. Well, anyways, let's go here. And again, we are on the Changing History one. We are at the 56th chapter, almost at the middle of it, and we're about to change to the Heartbreaker one in Wattpad. So let's get into it. I'm not going to do a recap because my head is in another place. So with no further ado, chapter 56 from Changing History for Summer Black and Summer Backup. If you want to keep reading this at your own pace or just finish it before me, there's always the link on the description below, and also if you go to the playlist section, there's all the recaps of my streams, and there's also the link to the fic. I think that's all. I think. Is it? Yeah, I think it is. Anyways, let's continue. Let me get this. Sorry, I changed settings on my laptop and I'm still adjusting to them. Yeah, so no, we no, let's continue with chapter 56, blood, blood, blood. Okay. Again, if you remember, there are also many fan arts for you to see. Is it? Yeah. Look. No, what has happened? Is everything okay? Okay, let's just continue. Let's just start with this. Chapter 56, blood, blood, blood. Your cons- your compulsive wish, oh my gosh. Your compulsive wish to not be impolite gets you half an hour earlier to your date with Kaminari. Between the internships and the following exams, you and the lightning sorry, you and the lightning boy decided a better time wouldn't come for a while. It's the last day of peace before you're supposed to start your weeks as an intern, and your afternoon is free of homework. A great time to be alive. I'm, I'm praying for this to be true for me. Since it's quite hot, you decide to enter a shop and browse through your clothes. You'll just kill some time and maybe find something cute since it has been ridiculously long since last time you went shopping. It should be normal, right? Poor naive you. Why don't you ever realize, regardless of your plans, reality is going to fuck you over in the worst possible way? Obviously, you should know you're going to run into some murderous fellas anytime you go out. Trying an outfit for the day. Trying on an outfit for the heck of it. You deserve yourselves in the shop's full body mirror. Wow! A voice gushes you next to you. You're so pretty! Stopping your musing with a not small amount of shock, you were never randomly complimented before, you turn with a close-eyed smile to thank the stranger when they continue in a giddy whisper. Can I cut you? You freeze. Still half turned, not daring to meet your interlocutor's eyes, you gulp dryly. Maybe they didn't mean it. Maybe you misheard. Maybe. Can I? Can I? She insists. Just a little blood. Pretty please. No, come on. You gotta be fucking kidding me. First Dabby and then. I refuse. It's not fucking possible she approaches random people in shops and asks to cut them open with a knife. A sudden stop strikes you. Because. Does she have a knife right now? If you don't answer, she's going to attack you to attract your attention? She's crazy enough. Survival instincts snap you out of your denial and you step back for a bit too hastily to face your opponent. Assessing the situation, you're very happy you kept your trousers and wear the new shirt first. In your right pocket there are two knives, and although you don't know how to use them nearly as good as she does, it's better than nothing. Meeting her amber eyes confirms your assumption. In spite of the fear coursing in your veins, belonging senses your heart with a long, unmistakable second. Himiko Toga is smiling at you, canning speaking out from her lips and a flush staining her rosy cheeks. She's giggling, blonde twin buns swaying on her head. She would be cute if she didn't just ask you to be didn't if she didn't just ask you to plead. No thank you. You bow your head. I'm afraid I have to decline your request. I hope you can forgive me. Oh, Toga pouts. But why? You'd be prettier with more blood. Although I think you're super pretty already. You're so broken. I like people the best when they're broken. You blink. Is she? Is she trauma smelling hound or something? You remember her fixation with broken people from canon, but you didn't think it extend to an internal injuries as well. Figures. The first person to randomly compliment my appearance is actually attracted by my psychological issues. That's life, I guess. So, can I cut you? Everything is better with some blood. I've already have all the blood I need, you firmly reply. Inside my body. But it's so much cuter when it's outside. Come on, come on. Did she just go around asking to anyone she liked? How has she not been arrested yet? But it calls for tons other questions, such as where did she live? How did she live? Especially when she just become a teen villain. Holy shit, what are you thinking about her age? You should escape! This is this is your old world mentality coming back to bite you in the ass. Instead of seeing the deranged psychopath and running away, you see a girl no older than 18 and think, "Aw, cute traumatized child." I like blood. She grins wide and crazy. Yep, cute child your ass. I guess that. You reply, looking for a way out. I like making it, I like watching it, I like drinking it too. Although you already know, you guess you should try to keep up an appearance. So you raise an eyebrow and ask her with a faint note of disbelief. You drink blood? Yeah! She nods. I'm sure you find it weird, but. No. Caught by a sudden realization, you forget you're in the company of a villain and share your eyebrows in pondering. I mean, it's also weird, but more than that, do you really just drink anyone's blood? I hope you asked them about their medical history first. Do you know how many diseases you could get by drinking a stranger's blood? Toga blinks owlishly. Diseases? HIV, for example. He tapped a finger. Wait, hold on, she has a point. You never realized it before, but both Toga and Stain could get a lot of ugly surprises drinking strangers' blood. It was basically like unprotected sex. I wouldn't advise you to drink a stranger's blood. You continue. At least ask them if they are HIV positive first. It's the first time you can remember in canon where Toga sees where Toga seems a loss of words, blinking rapidly as if to dissolve some sort of dream. She plants her amber eyes on you and asks with innocent curiosity, "What is HIV?" Oh no. Are you about to teach sexual education to a villain? That's bullshit! Although it's pretty weird that a teenager girl has no idea what HIV is. You have to remember you're in an anime, and Toga doesn't run the risk of catching it anyway. You doubt Hirokoshi wants her to fall sick in the middle of a fundamental character development arc. She doesn't need to know. She has plot armor. Still, misinformation's pretty bad. Come. Hold. Come, you say, inviting her to sit with you on a dressing room bench. Now, I'm going to have a chat with you, alright? Can I make you bleed afterwards? Toga asks eagerly, like a puppy begging for a treat. No, you gentle reply. No cutting me. This is a favor I'm doing to you, so you should, in exchange, not cut me. But, her brows crunching an admittedly adorable pout. But if I have to choose between listening to you and cutting you, I much prefer cutting you. Can you not do me this favor so I can cut you instead? You need this favor. You take up your official mom voice that you're skilled in using. I it will help you drink blood more safely and also do a whole lot of other things more safely. What are we doing? More safely? You let out a tired sigh. If you do it more safely, you'll be able to do it more. More blood. Alright? Toga's eyes lit up so fast you're blinded. Clapping her hands, she nods as if she wants her head to fall off. That's perfect! Teach me! Talk! What do you need to tell me? Come on, come on! Alright. Let's start from HIV. It's a disease and it has to do with blood. Now, you see. Toga follows you for the most sex ed and general health talk as you get progressively more horrified by how much she doesn't know. She has never struck you as the type to worry about certain things, but you didn't think she had absolutely no idea about any of them. Did she ever receive lessons about it at school? Or even just heard something? Or is it just an anime thing where since they have plot armor, they know nothing about the normal people problems? Either way, you don't approve it. If she wants to drink blood, she should at least be aware of the risk she's taking. So you soon realize you have to put the word blood as many times as possible, or she'll lose interest. Anytime you repeat blood, she hears the head as is asking you, "Where is it? Gimme, gimme!" It would be weirdly endearing if she wasn't a psychopath. I don't really know if I got it. Toga shrugs at the end, not looking like she particularly cares. She smiled cheerily as the change of topic. Now, can I cut you? You gave her a reproaching glance. What have we said about cutting me? The girl pouts, a furrowed look washing over her face. This is unfair. You would be so much prettier. Just a little cut. Pretty please. No, you're no fun. I can just do it either. It's a favor I'm doing you, just like yours. I don't need your permission. Ah, yes. Here comes the murderous villain. Dealing with Toga has been taxing, to say the least. If you somehow if you somehow went back in time, you would definitely not go into the shop, but it has also proved useful. No, it has also it has also proved useful. You already knew a thing or two about her character, meaning her quirk, name, insane bloodlust, and past. Also her skill with knives and that great technique of making her presence disappear she used with Izuku and Aizawa. That was so cool. If only she wasn't your enemy, you would totally ask her to teach you. But that's beside the point. Point is that this conversation gave you more hindsight of her. You can safely say that she's a child. Her Peter Pan syndrome is different from Shigaraki's, but she behaves just like a kid would. Tries to get what she wants, get mad if she doesn't, throws, violent bloody, tantrums. She even chats with the enemy and can't resist making jabs, like with Uraraka at the training camp. And there is one thing children always like, even when they don't want to admit it. If you cut me with your permission, without permission, you say, I won't be able to be your friend. Toga howls suddenly, expression smoothing of incredulity. She stares at you and repeats, Friend? Friend. You nod. Don't you want us to be friends? The girl just blinks. Looking at her knowledge on the matter is quite as vast as on the HIV. The line of her mouth creases and it thins out a weird reminiscence, as if she's trying very hard to remember something. For a moment, you think you can see deeper than Canon Toga. Then she crosses petally her arms and she just let out a lower lip with a dangerous look in her eyes. If you were my friend, you would let me cut you, she huffs. True friends want to make each other happy. You remain speechless. Like, man. We got there. For all your talk about her being a child, she just turned the whole damn table on you, and you have no idea how to bring the situation back in your favor. You could just abandon the crazy idea of being her friend in the first place. You thought that since you were doomed to meet her anyways, why not get something out of it? With Shigaraki, Dabi, and Shisaki, things didn't go smoothly. But Toga could be your safe haven in the League of Villains. Not like she would betray them for you, but maybe she could go easy on you, or... Alright, truth is, you just really hope her to teach you the disappearing technique. But since that plan clearly went down the drain, you can just mobilize her and run away to your shadow. Like what you did with Dabi. Or you can take double the stakes. Alright. You look at her straight in their eyes to let her understand the meaningful of your words. Just a little cut. What? Toga widens her eyes with a little gasp. Really? Really? There is something seriously sick in the way her face brightens, busting up with excitement. And it's to cut you. Fuck. That's so fucked up. Thank you. She throws her arms around you. Oh, you're the best friend ever. Oh, she holds you by the shoulders, looking at you in the eyes. I haven't introduced myself. Silly me. I'm Himiko Toga. Nice to meet you, Toga-san. I'm King Udina. Please take care of me. Of course, Toga coos, whipping out her knife from you don't know where. Let me take care of you. The movement is slightly fast, and you barely feel a pin pricking in your finger before a drop of blood surfaces over your skin. Toga extends greedily her hands, eyes glimmering, but you draw back your injured limb before she can latch into like a ravenous animal. I said a cut, not a drink. As if you'll ever let her give her the chance to take your appearance. That would be a huge liability. The girl looks crestfallen as she replies, but that's the best part! For a moment, it seems that everything you did will be useless, and she'll just attack you anyway. But with great surprise on your, she pouts and gives in. Next time, alright? Like, fuck, there'll be a next time. Maybe, you reply. That's the moment your gaze, skimming through the screens, catches Kaminari's characteristic hairstyle. And since he apparently has a terrible timing, that's also the moment his eyes meet yours and his face light up as he waves. Fuck. How bad would it be to be seen as Toka's friend? Not like he would recognize her now, but soon he will meet her again on the battlefield. On the other hand, how bad would it be to introduce Toga as a random girl I just met in front of her? She would get offended for sure. All the hard work you put trying to instigate yourself to her would be in vain. The only solution is to avoid confrontation altogether. I have to go now. You stand up. Toga widens her amber eyes. Hey, why? I haven't drank your blood yet. But we're friends. You offer her a smile, very careful to keep her knives under your side. Isn't that better? Honestly, it doesn't look like she's convinced, but she doesn't attack you, and that's a win in your books. We'll see each other again, Toga-san. You bow to the disgruntled girl. When we do, please remember we're friends. Asking her to pretend like she doesn't know you wouldn't make any sense. She's the kind of person to make it obvious even more than Shigaraki. So the least you can do is hope that, for once, your connection with psychopaths will prove beneficial. If she feels like some kind of bond with you, maybe she won't cut you up and drain all your blood. Fuck, you hope. Actually, maybe this wasn't the best idea, since in canon she wants to become like the people she likes. So the more she likes me, the more she's likely to drink my blood. Whatever, at least she won't kill you. Maybe. Athena-chan! Kaminari smiles brightly when you reach him, making you forget all the troubles you've gone through. You're even more beautiful than usual. You offer him a smile. By now, used to his behavior. At least Toga hasn't followed you. To be sure, though. Why don't we take a walk? I'm sure there's a lot of nicest place around here. Kaminari readily accepts, offering you his arm with a joking flourish. And now this is what is what flustered you beyond measure. Beyond measure. It's a it's as if the moment you acquired the mannerism of a 18th century lady got on the you also got under the taste. Of course! The boy winks. I'll take you to the most beautiful place in the world, Athena John. Your heart? You cockily reply. If he wants to fluster you, it's only fair he gets a taste of his own medicine. No, he chirps, taking a stride. It should be you taking me there, since I gave up you since I gave up the keys to you to a long time ago. You bit your lip, searching for an answer on the fly, but coming out empty. Smooth. You admit. Kaminari laughs brightly. Oh god, we're so fucked. Oh no. If you think that just barely 2 hours ago you were talking with a psychopathic villain, you feel ridiculous. Walking around as if everything was normal. But Kaminari Goofy's behavior is really good at putting you at ease. I don't know. I don't know how I'll be able to survive my internship without seeing you for a week. He laments, raising his arms as if asking the heavens. Will you think about me? You take a moment to ponder on it. Yeah, why not? You probably will. He'll send you memes anyway. Of course, Denki-kun. Kaminari sighs happily, giving you a close-eyed smile that's making you something warm your blood in your chest. I too will be thinking about you, he grants. All the time. Oh, I will bring you something for my internship. What do you like? You don't need to do that, she chuckled fondly. Already being with you is enough of a gift. Kaminari brings a hand to his chest, looking something in between touched and annoyed. Athena, John, you got to stop being so corny without gardening me first. That's also a gift. You sent in a playful wink. I can't turn my cockiness off when I'm with you. I see, he grins, rubbing his chin as if he's stroking a non existent beard. Then I'll just have to win the battle of corniness. Is that a challenge? He sends you out two dirty finger guns. No, it's a promise. Then he leaves your arm, making a beeline for a game. Oh my god, it's one of those games. It's a damn plushie machine with a robot arm. What is it even doing here? You raised your eyes, noticing its place outside of an arcade. Alright, that makes sense. But what an awful convenient timing. You're truly an anime character, aren't you? I can't believe it. You let out a disbelieving laugh as Kamina returns with a smug smirk. Try to beat this, Gorginess, he says. If this was your previous life, those words would be rich to reef of people's money and never let them win. But since you're inside an anime, it could even work. In that case, Kaminari will definitely win the corniness challenge. You wreck your brain for some last seconds of alignment, but nothing comes to you. Simple sweet simple sweet talking isn't going to cut it anymore. And Kaminari smiles. The robotic arm wraps in around the plushie. You see a spark of electricity enter the machine through his fingers and wonder whether he's hacking the game. Done! He takes the prize, holding it towards you with a dazzling grin. You can even see the flowery background behind him, and you're just about to tell him that you can't accept it. That you weren't receiving it, that you weren't ready to receive any gift and wouldn't know what to give him in exchange. When you see it's a Hawk's plushie. And really, you can't refuse to that, can you? Alright. You nod, taking it from his hand and hugging it to your chest. You win, Denki kun. But it's only because I'm a simp, so you better remember it. Oh, really? He pokes teasingly your cheek. It took so little. If you like plushies, if you like plushies this much, I'll give you dozens of them. Don't be silly. You smile fondly. It's not the plushie. It's the gesture, I guess. Since you haven't done it for a whole hour, you bow. Thank you very much, Denki-kun. I appreciate your kindness. Ah! Kaminari rose the back of his head, blushing furiously. It's nothing. Hey, Athena-chan, why don't we get married already? Who are you, Mrs. Joke? Like, wait. You raise your hand, cutting off his marriage proposal. Your attention is elsewhere since you spotted just the thing you need to get some points of your card in this game. Hey, Denki-kun. The boy blinks at your tone. Do you feel like taking pictures? It's a photo booth. Oh my god. Thus, you came back from your second Kaminari date with a Hugs plushie that you put on the top shelf, obviously, and with a big Purikura picture of the two of you. That's another thing you rarely did in your previous life. Although you had the chance to, but it's a must inside animes. Besides, the pictures are kinda cute. You share them equally. Kaminari taking the silly ones, he's doing his J pose while you sport your resting bitch face, and you take more the normal one. The boy in the picture is grinding wildly, sneaking arm around your shoulders as if thinking you wouldn't notice. You, obviously noticing, display a small but heartfelt smile. You tape it to the wall over your bed, together with the pictures with Bakugo, Izuku, and Inasa from your childhood. The photo of Yonejiro your parents took the first time he had dinner at your house, some pictures of the Baku squad snapped by Mina. There's also a shot from you from the sport festival, standing at the podium with a medal in your hands. You gave the wall a long glance, and exhaled a satisfied sigh. It was a wonderful day. If you forget the murder who always got you up, but nothing's perfect. Sometime later, once a league is formed, Toga taking your photo. Oh my god, that's my best friend! Wait, that's my little princess. What the fuck are you all saying about my future wife? Oh no, we're meeting everyone. Oh no. Chapter 56. Okay, so villains we've all met. Toga, Shigaraki, Dabi, Shisaki, Okay, maybe I think that's all. Still, we're so fucked. Let's just continue. Chapter 57. The internship begins. Alright, I think we're going with hawks. Wait, actually, yeah, I forgot about that. So it comes to the moment to head to your internships. It seems that every time something happens, Inasa is your go to chauffeur. You went together to the recommended exams, to the sport festival, and now he's walking alongside you as to head to the train station to go to Kyushu. Obviously, he appreciated you choosing Hawks. He's a renowned bro hero full of passion, and you're pretty sure he's glad you'll be far from UA, as if he can sense that whenever you're involved with the school, trouble arises. He's not wrong, reason of which you almost feel guilty about the plan to face the hero killer anyway, and possibly change canon. But anyway, remember to call me if anything happens. Inasa saying his booming voice, counting of his fingers all the things you have to remember. And just call me anyways to tell me how it's going. Also, remember to be careful and run away from buildings, and put a lot of passion in your training. He gives you a pat on your shoulder that almost makes you slam face into into the concrete. You squeeze harder your fingers around an ice cream cone that he insisted on buying, a celebration for your success in the festival. He had one too, but finished it in 2 seconds flat. And remember to, I will, Inasa. You slightly deadpan. You're behaving like my parents. Oh, he laughs boisterously. Your parents are passionate people. I am honored. That that was not what you meant it, but you'll take it. I will be fine, Inasa-kun, you say, like a liar. I just hope I'll be able to improve as much as I want to. Your eyes burn with quiet determination. I have to get stronger. Really stronger. And you will, Athena-chan. Inasa grins wildly, engulfing you in another bear hug. You'll do great. You'll be so strong that no villain will ever be able to defeat us. Exactly, you nod, voice muffled by his uniform. Super strong. The strongest. He plows you down again, giving you 1,000 kilowatt grin. I'll miss you, Tina-chan. I'll be waiting in the station for when you return. That's very sweet. You smile, giving him a thumbs up, which makes him chuckle. I'll think about you. No training, ca- no training Hawks can put me through will be as a hellish experiment against you. You won't be. Nasa clutches his heart, but his eyes are twinkling with amusement. I'll defeat you sooner or later, Inasa-kun. You gave him your personal version of a shit-eating grin. That's a promise. I'll take your challenge seriously then, he says, squaring his shoulders. Plus ultra! Then he hugs you again. Considering he isn't an UA, he's saying plus ultra a whole means a lot more than you. You know you just dug in your own grave for the professional license exam. When he'll remember your promise. But that moment is still far. At least, if you reach that arc, it means you survived the training camp and Camino and you're about to face overhaul again. No, thank you. Can I please go back? You part from Minas outside the station to avoid other awkward misunderstanding like the one with Minas at the sport festival, and head towards your classmates. The internships are finally about to begin. You enjoyed seeing Izuku squirm, clearly uncomfortable when you ask him about why did he choose Gran Torino, and listen to his half-baked excuse of he worked with All Might once or twice. You apologize to Uraka at least thrice for not going with Gunhead. She keeps saying that it was no problem, but you felt guilty anyway. You contain your laughter when Bakugo told you he would be going to Best Genius, patting his spiky hair one last time to more than loss, and tried very hard not to tell Todoroki to send his father to hell. Actually, that went over pretty weirdly. He was the one to approach you out, asking where you would be coming with him. Right, we got the imitation. You blink in faint confusion. I'm I'm sorry. Where should I go with you, Toroki-san? To the internship. Toroki replies. I know my father asked you. You have to admit you were pretty surprised. Did Endeavor go out of his way of telling him, or did Todoroki go out of his way to ask him? Both scenarios look unlikely. Oh, you mumble. I don't think so, actually. I was honored to receive his request, but I'm sure his skill as a hero is almost unparalleled. But he's not what I'm looking for this internship. Truth is, regardless of how he'll change in the future, right now he's a tick. And if your first and if in your first life you heard about a guy like him, a culprit of domestic violence who never had to pay the consequences of his actions just because he was so strong and famous, you would hate it. Besides, you still can fathom why he requested you, and you don't trust him what and you don't trust what you don't understand. I see. Todoroki nods. I wish you a good internship then, I think, King. To you as well, Todoroki. You smile. His expression is as unreadable as always, like a smooth surface of the lake. You have no idea what the interaction was about by the time it ends. Truth is, although not even your deduction skills could guess that, Todoroki would have liked you to come. William face, willingly facing his father in the next days isn't something he's looking forward to. He isn't sure he took the right decision and doesn't know how to behave himself in Endeavor's presence. For as much as he's good at hiding it, this internship unsettles him. He wants to get better with his fire, and he knows his father is the right choice for that. But what about the rest? He was ready to go on alone, of course, but when Endeavor mentioned he resent your request for you, Todoroki's heart skipped a beat. Some part of him immediately knew that was the reason Endeavor did it in the first place, to lure him at the agency. It was only natural for him to think that upon receiving an offer from the second hero in Japan, you would accept. Todoroki thought it too. Why should you refuse? If you went, he isn't ashamed to admit his choice would be easy for him too. He wonders how his father knew. Was it that obvious? Todoroki himself doesn't exactly know what he feels, but he didn't think it was noticeable. Perhaps Endeavor is simply more observant than he gave him credit for, and saw something in his son's gaze that made him realize any your request could be proved beneficial. Maybe Todoroki should start acknowledging that his emotions are more visible than he thought. They're just so foreign. He feels unsavable to give it a name, and doesn't know why just a few days ago, when you were about to kiss Kirishima during the game, they exploded. He's never felt anything like it before. Wait, that's true. I was like, what game? Yeah, it was the game night. And they were doing the spin in the bottle. And we almost kissed Kirishima. Oh my gosh. Oh, the memories. Oh. The first time he saw you at the recommended exams, he thought you and your friend were tremendously obnoxious. What kind of show were you putting at the US gates? Did you have no shame? He rolled his eyes and turned the other way. Upon finding you again at UA, he barely noticed you. He wasn't interested in his classmates, and you didn't really stand out. He connected the dots, recognizing your face thanks to the one he by now associated to the student who beat him in the race, but there was nothing more. Then came the battle trials, and he had to notice you. You defeated him, but after winning, you apologize. I deeply apologize, Toraki-san. I know our tactics were very underhanded, but I don't like losing. From the moment on, he had to give it to you that if nothing else, you were a good strategist. The plan which brought you to win was clearly yours, and he could appreciate the ruthless way in which you took advantage of his carelessness. He scolded himself for underestimating you, and that's where he started noticing other things. People liked you. The reason wasn't clear. Yes, you were kind and polite, but Todoroki could admit, although he didn't particularly care, that most people of his classes were. Yojorosu, Midoriya, Ira, Uraraka, Kirishima. Why then? Was it so easy for you to connect with your peers? You seem to have friends everywhere, new ones popping out from other classes. At first, Todoroki assumed you were like him, detached from day-to-day life, never showing intense feelings. You had them, but hid them. You were a mask. That's what he did too. Then, why were you so good at making friends? You yourself seem to be surprised by it. He heard you the day you invited your class to dinner, admitting that during middle school you had only two closest friends, Midoriya and the boy he had seen you at the recommended exams. But now, you seem to get along with everyone. How? What made you so good at this friends thing? You had barely any experience. Then he realized, regardless of what he chooses, I'll be proud of him either way. That's what friends are for. Maybe it was just that. People knew that they could find in you someone who held their best interests at the heart, someone who would support them without hesitation. He observed you a bit more, looking at the interaction that made you close to people, and it became clear that you were just so reliable. If you did something, it was safe to assume it was a good thing. You always knew what decisions to take even in difficult situations. Your advice was worth to be listened to, and often you had the right words to give. Some part of him couldn't help but wonder, if you were truly so good at befriending others, would you be able to do the same with him? He was taken aback by his own thought through the first time. He didn't want friends. If you tried to befriend him, it would result in annoying and intrusive. But then maybe you would be able to. Having the chance to observe you more, he couldn't help but think you're able to do anything you set out to. If you only if you only take stock of the situation and devise a plan, you always bring certainty with you. In the midst of the confusion that lazily filled his mind, your serenity is the sweetest comfort Todoroki can imagine. Maybe, deep down, you remind him of his mother. She never stopped trying to shoulder him from the harshness of the world. She bore the brunt of Endeavor's violence and always smiled at him, not want him to know how bad things were, how deeply she was suffering. With her, he could believe, for a few minutes, that everything was fine. That was her special power. She kept all the dark things inside to give others solace, until she cracked. Sometimes Todoroki watches you silently and can't help but think you will end up the same way, cracked. Or maybe you already are. And maybe, it looks like he can never be certainly accept the ones you provide. That's why he felt comfortable showing weakness to you during the sport festival. You both are the kind of person to hide them and keep up your appearances, but he already saw through yours. So it was only fair for you to see through his. He knows your the parent certainly comes from creeping self-doubts or fears of failure, and now you know his attached coldness comes from self-loathing and repressed hatred. In the eyes of most society, you're both flawless. Good quirks, good grades, good manners, but you're cracked. And although you never spoke of it, he knows you know, and that's enough. Furthermore, considering the shaky excuse you gave him not to intern with Endeavor, it's likely you know much more than you let on. Todoroki is surprisingly fine with it. He's fine with you knowing. He wanted you to know. When he spoke with you during the sport festival, he just didn't know how to say it. For a moment, he feared that he got it all wrong. You weren't cracked and you wouldn't understand. Instead, you understood perfectly, just like always. Every time he had an expectation about you, be it simple curiosity or actual interest, you exceeded. He was sure you would lose against him in the battle trials, yet you defeated him. He wondered whether you would even try to befriend him, and you did in the first chance you got. He didn't know if you would understand him, but perhaps you even helped him to understand himself. Now he doesn't know what he's expecting anymore. For you to just straight up reveal you have a magic solution to make everyone happy? No, that's a bit too far fetched. Maybe he's just expecting you to stay friends. It's a new thing for him, but it feels nice. And maybe he's hoping you'll exceed his expectations once more. Dude, that was so cute. I'm gonna cry. Oh, you on your part are thinking about Ada. Of course. The trains are about to arrive, and you will head to your agencies. Tokoyami is standing a few feet behind you, waiting for you to get ready to leave. But you aren't ready. You feel like you can't breathe if you think about what will happen with Stain. If only it stopped pretending to be fine. King-san, Tokoyami voices make you turn towards him in confusion. You're so intent in worrying out of your mind that the train could stop right in front of you and you wouldn't notice. You shake your head, trying to clear it. Yes, Tokoyami-san? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm under the impression you know Hawks. You blink. Yeah, you do. Pretty well, actually. How does Tokoyami know? The boy seems to read the question in your eyes, and that bursts him with a certain bashfulness. Well, he did pick you up and take you away flying after the USJ. Oh, fuck. Wait. Didn't I sidewalk cover for you? You were under the impression nobody knew what happened. Although a few of your classmates suspected you were lying about your parents coming to pick you up, but they were all surprised when Mina read Huck's autograph. Isawa sensei, before leaving himself, told us that you had been picked up at your parents. Tokoyami explains, confirming your suspicions. But I was outside with you at the time, so we saw it all. Dark shadow clothes jumping out from out from nowhere. Where are you hiding, huh? Nothing? You stammer guiltily. I don't actually. I don't actually know Hogs. I met him the first time when I was 12, and he didn't have a lot of fans at the time, so he remembered me. That's basically it. Yeah, not a possible explanation for why he flew all the way from Kyushu to check on you, but Tokoyami is a gentleman and doesn't point it out. Instead, he asks, the feather you're wearing is his, right? You're admittedly surprised by now by how keen his eyes is. How many other people noticed your feather since the beginning of school? And how many did the connection after reading Huck's autograph in your room? Yeah, you nod, fidgeting self-consciously with, with said feather. It is. Actually, this is the second one, but anyway. I see. Well then, Tokoyami sounds faintly out of his depth, and you understand why the moment he asks, what are you expecting for our internship? You realize he's simply nervous. Perfectly understandable since he's about to intern with the number 3 hero, being with a friend who's already met him and knows him more than they let on. Must be reassuring for him. You don't have to worry, Tokoyami-san. You place a hand on his shoulder. Hux is pretty chill. He won't put he won't put you under pressure or trying to intimidate you. Actually, I was scared he wouldn't really put an effort into our internships, but I was just being too paranoid. Why should he have requested us for what? Why should he have requested us if he's not going to trust our potential? Tokoyami inquires. You understand his point. You truly do, and he's right. But that just lets you see how disappointed he must have been in the first time around. This time it will be different. You'll make sure of it. Our train arrived. Tokoyami points out, leaving your case to the train. We should go. You nod on autopilot, turning on one last time to look at the station. You instinctively search for the head of the neatly combed blue hair, the glinting of rectangular glasses, but you don't find him. You clench your fist, drawing a breath. Just you wait, Ida. I won't let you go through this alone. Especially since he's about to make the whole damn mess, and you'll be damned if you let that happen without even trying. Oh man. Todoroki, you remind me of my mother. Oh, is it because she was always sweet and reassuring? Yes. Also because she was mad. Wait, what? Go to a fucking therapist. Wait. The much. Oh. Ah! We're getting hugs now. Oh, let me just get some water. There we go. Okay, let's go. Let's continue. Chapter 58 Red Wings. You and Tokoyami spend the train ride mostly in silence. The ones who do talk are Opsy and Dark Shadow. Dark Shadow has always asked to meet her, but Opsy can't speak without using your mouth. And you don't fancy losing control over your body for who knows how long. Furthermore, some part of you is terrified that Ida Tensei is somehow on the train and will recognize you for your shadow voice. You know, that's ridiculous, but you can't help it. Apparently, though, if Dark Shadow enters in contact with Opsy, he can communicate. It must be some weird shadow bond. You don't really know. He doesn't hear exact words, but Opsy is able to transmit her general mood, and they have to be having tons of fun. You and Tokoyami share awkward eye contact from their respective seats, feeling like two single parents who brought their children over a playmate. You wonder where you should start talking about the weather or taxes or whatever adults talk about. So, you mutter, how is training coming along? Quite well, Tokoyami nods. But I have great hopes in his internship. Next time we fight, he missed your eyes with graveness. I'll be able to defeat you. Oh, you usually would reply, I don't doubt it, on instinct, but catch yourself before that. Tokoyami is strong. Yes, but you are too. The sport festival prove it, regardless of whether or not you're a canon character. I accept your challenge, Tokoyami-san. You give him a close-eyed smile, but respectfully, I'll make sure that day never comes. The boy's mouth creaks in a small smirk, and he gives you a nod. He seems satisfied with your answer, and you feel a sense of pride wash over you. Hell yeah, you're badass. Do you think Hawks will meet us at the station? He asked, changing the topic. Or should we found his agency? I don't know, you admit. Coming to pick us could be difficult considering all his fans. Maybe his sidekicks will accompany us to the agency? You're about to say, I can call him and ask, when you realize Tokuyami doesn't know you have Hawk's personal number, and he probably shouldn't. Or maybe it doesn't matter anymore? He does know a lot already. He saw him fly with you towards the sunset. That's more suspicious than a phone number. But is it even worth to bother Hawks with such a tribal thing? So close to the end of your ride, too. You can just get out of the train and see for yourself. Yeah, that can work. Hawks won't be at the station anyways. He'll send his sidekicks for sure. Right? Wrong! Tokuyami comes to hide his embarrassment, averting his eyes. His blush is visible even on his feathers. I didn't know he was. He tries to find the words. So enthusiastic about having interns. I didn't either, you comment. And he wasn't. You're sure of it. Hawks wasn't interested in teaching the younger generation. Not until later, when character development came along. But before that, he didn't care. Then, why is he in the front of the train, holding a sign which says, cute little interns, as if he's, as if he's here to pick you up from the airport? Not to mention, there are hearts and flowers doodled around the word. The moment you and Tokoyami step out of the train, his yellow eyes arrow on you. He starts waving, his smile broadening in a grin. You bring your hands on your cheeks to cool down. Oh god, the embarrassment. Here, he chirps as if you could possibly not notice him. Here, my cute little interns. You and Tokoyami, trying to ignore the staring all around, scuffle towards him with your eyes glued bashfully to the ground. The only thing bringing you some relief is that Takuyami looks even more uncomfortable than you. Hello, Hux welcomes you, extending his hands. I'm Hux. He turns to Takoyami, giving him an encouraging nod. You must be Takoyami, kan? Call me Tsukuyomi. Tsukuyomi, the boy gravely replies, ignoring how still blushing. Got that, Hux exclaims, before shooting you a sly smile. You instead? I'm sorry, I can't seem to remember your name. Have we met by chance? Happy to see you too, Hawks. You mumble, rolling your eyes. Oh, he coos. I missed you. Next moment, he's wrapping his arms around you, smashing your face against his jacket. You're seriously struggling between the embarrassment of being in public station in front of your classmate and the comfort of hugging Hawks. You can just steam in shame and bask in simping at the same time, no problem. Your mind is crossed by the image of the Hawk's plushie Caminari one for you. And your cheeks burn. I'm happy you like your second gift. He hums with a rumble of his chest. You bring a hand you bring the hand to the feather tucking behind your ear. Heart beating a tad faster. Of course I did. Even though I let the first one get. That definitely wasn't your fault, little fan. He chuckles. Immediately his tone becomes childish as he whines. Still, you never gave me a call. I thought my little fan just forgot about me. What a tragedy it would have been if I. Of course I didn't call you without a reason. You frown. You're very busy. Besides, the one time I did call you on, you were immediately on emergency mode. Ah, Hawk snorts sheepishly. Yeah, I may have overreacted. On my defense, you never know when your little fan could be in danger. Yeah, you nod. After a second of silence, you murmur, Hugs, haven't we been hugging for the last 2 minutes? Ah. He laughed, taking a step back so fast to leave you dizzy. You're right. I wouldn't want to waste the little time we have, so why don't we get to my agency? Tokoyami nods seriously. While you're too busy looking at the number of people with their phones out and dying inside. They're obviously interested in Hawks. And you're right next to Hawks. Can we, move? You say, throwing nervous glasses around. Hawks seems to understand the reason of your uncomfortableness, and a touch of mischief that you don't like at all enter his eyes. But of course! Say, Tsukuyomi, he says. He gives Tsukuyomi a challenging smirk. You think you can keep up with me? Obviously, the boy nods. What else should he do? He takes these things very seriously and wastes no time considering this is the first internship training. I'll do my best. Good. The hero gives him a pat on the shoulder. About you, Athena-chan. He technically should call you by your hero name, but you don't correct him. You doubt, you doubt he would listen anyway. I, I can't keep with your speed, you admit, and there is no way for me to fly. But I can hide in shadows. At least I won't get noticed. I will arrive to the agency as fast as possible anyway. Very cute. Hugs a smile, laying a hand on your head. But don't, but don't take it personally. You would take far too much time. I would say we use a shortcut. You should be used to it by now. But you aren't. And the second he sweeps you off your feet, letting you without anything to grab onto, you almost let out a scream. Of course, there's no need to. He's holding you tight. He's holding you to his chest the next instant, and you can barely take a breath before he's shooting up to the sky. You grip on the hems of his jacket as if it were a life or death matter, which it actually is, squeezing your eyes shut and browning your face in his chest. Height isn't your biggest fear, but holy shit if it's too sudden. Do you always stick up without warning? You grit out, hoping Hawks feel the scolding in your voice. Not always. He lets out an amused hum. Only when I want my cute little fan intern to grab onto me. Stop. Not funny. You deadpan, a peek in your eye opening, risking a glance to the sky. Once sure that Hawks has got a safe hold around you, you swing your leg backwards and hit his kneecap. Ouch, he says, although it clearly didn't hurt. Why did you do that? I will let you guess. You send him a glare. Maybe because you almost gave me a heart attack. He snickers. I know controlling your heartbeat around me can be a challenge, little fam, but oh, to shut it, Hux! You blink, suddenly aware of the casual way you're addressing a pro. Respectfully, you add. Do respectfully shut it. Hawk steals his head backwards and laughs. You would like you would like to keep giving him the cold shoulder, but you feel a smile tugging at your lips. Now that you aren't caught off guard anymore, flying is just as cool as you remember. You love the wind, the sky, the infinite distance that stretch out everywhere you look. There are no buildings, no obstacle, no streets. The sense of freedom is limitless. So, cute little fan, Hux takes the attention away from the view, bringing it back to him. Did you appreciate my welcome? I figured it could be the first step to reassure you that I will take your internship seriously and all that stuff you were worried about. Just snort. He didn't pick Tokoyami up in canon. That would have been funny though. Well, it does show some effort, although it was absolutely mortifying. And if I were, and if I find we're on, we ended up on the internet, I may have to a real heart attack. He laughs again, sounding very proud of it. Oh, I didn't think it would embarrass you. You perfectly knew. You cut him off. I didn't. You did. A few seconds of complete silence fall over the scene as you glare at his perfectly straight face. Hawks maintained his seriously for exactly 4 seconds before his expression break out in a grin, hand sneaking lightning fast to poke your cheek. Whatever, you mumble. You're just weird. Hawks gaps in an outrage. I am not. Take that back. What if I don't? You'll drop me? I would never do that, he says, not even trying to joke about it. But nothing stopped me from making the rest of the way a bit more adventurous. He gives you such a stiff grip. Do you like roller coasters, little fan? What? Just cough, igniting the usual tame fire of the competition in your chest. Bring it on, weirdo. Ooh, you wish you never said that again. Oh no. You almost puke exactly thrice. In the end, though, Hux has to land before you take back your words since you were about to throw to throw up over his jacket. The final result is that no, you aren't capable of resting his roller coaster, but you're too stubborn to give in and will rather puke. You don't know whether that's a win or a loss. Hux doesn't either, since he looks so proud and sulking at the same time. All those unnecessary acrobatic at least give Tokoyami the time to reach you, and the boy is so kind as not to comment on your clammy hands and sick expression. You appreciate that. After a quick trip to your rooms to leave your baggage and get changed in your hero costumes, you find yourselves in a training room in the company of the wounded hero. You can't help to have the eerily feeling all his employees were staring at you as if you as if two heads as if you had two heads while you walk into the corridors, and you feel nothing short of self-conscious. Maybe they're surprised Hawks took interns? Why didn't they stare at Tokoyami too then? Do you have something on your face? Maybe you're just super hot and they're all impressed. Opsy tries to comfort you. You appreciate it, although you strongly doubt that's the reason. Alright, my cute little interns. Hux welcomes you. First of all, do you know do you know black isn't the only existing color, right? You and Tokoyami both dress in mainly black costumes, exchange an awkward glance. Anyway, Hux sweet drops. I've already had something in mind for you. Tsukoyami, we're birds of the same feather, after all. You instead, Athena-chan, although sharing some aspect of your quirk with Tsukoyami, you're almost uncharted territory. What do you want to improve with? There are many parts of my quirk I just recently discovered. You say where it practically is. The first time I used them was during the sport festival, and my control of them was. Shiosaki kept screaming and screaming and screaming. Shaky, at best. I would like to experiment with some more with them. I see. Hog nuts. I did watch the sport festival, so I think I got an idea of what you're talking about. But still, would you care to elaborate? You nod. It's mostly traveling through shadows, which I can do, but very slow. I can also sever pieces of my own shadow and shape them into objects, but that's extremely painful, and I don't know if I should be training with it. I would say definitely not. Hulk lets out a pleasant hum. Still, I know you're able to cut other people's shadows off, and that's your main offensive skill. If there any way you can train it, I you swallow. I don't think so. I would have to hurt the other person pretty severely. What if there were villains? I would be justified then, I guess, but it would have to be during a fight. I wouldn't feel right to just torturing a villain who has already been captured. I see, I see. No, you don't. Hugs not with a smile, and just a bit cheery. Well, we'll think about that. As of now, I think you should train with your shadow trouble. Other than staying hidden, what's a strong point? The shadows basically support me, you try to explain. They act like glue, keeping me attached to the object. I have better balance. Hugs strokes his chin, looking like a mad scientist about to convey a new idea. If, to say, you jump from a building to another, in the time of the day when the alley between them is covered in shadows, would you fall? Or would you walk it through the other building? You blink. That's an interesting question. Hawk's eyes turn into crescent half moons. Let's try it. Right now? When else? It seems Hawks took very seriously your doubts about his dedication. Too seriously. He leaves Tokoyami in the training room with a few tips on what he'll be later known as the Dark Fallen Angel technique and takes you flying to the building anyways. Not to the building away. You're happy he's helping Tokoyami more than in canon. But do I really have to do this? You murmur, standing on the building's ledge and feeling faintly sick. What if I fall and, fall? You won't be able to see me since the ally is shadow. You can catch me. Didn't you say shadows work like glue? Shock. Oh, that bitch. Hawk shrug. Even if you did fall, it would be more like gliding from from a shadow. I don't know how to talk. It would be expected for what? Even if you did fall, it would be more like gliding from one shadow to another. You have to admit, you'll be surprised by how quickly he caught on your power works. Mm. It's to be expected to the hero who's a bit too fast. Alright, you take a deep breath. If I died, I'm sending Sensei after you. Yes. You don't really know whether you're falling or not. You don't feel anything. Your feet are still stuck in the shadows, and you don't see things in the dim light of alternate dimensions. You're pretty sure the brightness in front of you comes from the skyline and not some building's wall, so you're walking on air. Hawks! You shout, sounds are muffled as well, but your voice is loud enough to reach him. I'm doing it! I'm walking in shadows! She's doing it! Yay! Sorry. I see you, little fan. He grins. Or at least I think I do. You snort. It must be difficult to discern your shadow through the lights of the city like in the darkest sky of dusk. You walk forward, steps becoming more secure when you faster glide over the shadows between the buildings. When you step foot once again on solid concrete, you exit your shadow, turning towards Hawks with a big smile on your face. You will lie if you say you are exhilarated. I did it! You chirp. You did, little fan. Hawk nods, oozing pride from every pore. You can officially define gravity. And that's when you slip and fall from the ledge. So much for defying gravity. We know what fuck. Your brain has a single second to throw all the stages of shit, what a stupid way to die, and oh my god, I'm going to die, before your fall is interrupted by a familiar herd hold around you. Wings distrusting practically you form. You draw the starting breath, gripping his arms. Be honest. Huck teases you. This time you did it on purpose. It would make it a prize. It should make it a prize. If you're trained enough, you can get a flipping. You get a flying trip with me. Stop! Such great initiative, you mutter, a hint of sarcasm in your poised voice. A pity it wouldn't work, cause your ego couldn't take it if you don't show up every 2 seconds. Hawks doesn't even waste time pretending to be offended. Instead, opting for a misgiven smirk. If you think I need to show off that much, why don't we do more somersaults? I will puke over your jacket, Hawks. Alright. No more somersaults. uh, it's later in the day when you finally lay on your bed, and you hope you will be a night good asleep. when you open your phone and check your messages. For most of the part, it's normal stuff. Izuku, Inasa, and Eijiro asking how your day went. You start a detailed explanation of how your training went through, reciprocating the question. Things are still a little awkward with Eijiro after the dinner, but you are back to be normal. Monoma boasting that his internship is better than yours. You reply, if you say so, Nato, knowing that it will make him mad. Shinso asking if your teacher is mentally sane. That's new. He must start training with Aizawa. You ask him to elaborate, although you know you won't get an answer until morning. Your parents have also text, and they can get the same explanation of your training. You drop a message to Ida asking him how his day is first. How was his day at first? You know he'll see your question and as what it really is, meaning a poorly consequent attempt to check up on him. But you hope she'll at least answer. And the last chat you open is Mena. It's from a few hours ago, around the time you were getting changed into your hero costume. But it's a bit weird she texted you so early. But she's probably asking you how your first day, like everyone else. Except she's not. I can't believe it! Her chat reads, Athena, I knew you had connection, but oh my god, why did you never tell me? I want to know everything. Are you two actually together? I need answers! You blink. Attached to the message is a link which sends you straight to an online article, and the title makes your heart drops into your stomach. The Winded Hero and a UA student. Not just an intern! You gap in horror. Fuck. You're like, well, at least Hawks didn't see an article right. Hawks currently sending to Aizawa to an anonymous email with a caption, in your face! Oh my god. Hold on, I'm seeing... Hello. Hello, it's Sukumitoria143. What's up? I like your accent. Thank you. Everything's fine. How are you? I'm here just coping coping mechanism, reading fanfiction, because why not? Okay. Oh, let's continue. He's mad. Chapter 59. Training in the Sky. The more you read the article, the worse it gets. You didn't think it could get any worse after the title, but life has a way to surprise you. First of all, you feel like dying when you see the picture attached to it. One of you and Hugs hugging in the station, and the other of him flying away with you in his arms. The only bright side of that is your face is barely visible. It was first hidden in his chest and then a blurry blob in the sky. Good, that's good. Just keep looking at the bright sides, Athena. You can do this. Then you commit the fatal mistake of reading it. We all know the Winded Hero Hugs, the article says, which is pretty normal. Until it isn't. He's known, among other things, for his insanely good look and ability to charm any crowd. And it's easily predictable, his fans mostly consist of teenage girls and even older women. What the fuck? You think? The world's never met her. The world never before heard about Hugs having a girlfriend, or even just a casual relationship. The hero seemed too preoccupied with his duties, and his fan base was more than happy about it. But recently, the dreams of thousands of girls may have been shattered. What the fuck? You whisper. In the station of Fukuoka, the hero made a news showing up to welcome his interns from UA, the young heroes in training with the codenames of Tsukuyami and Nix. Even the welcoming was surprisingly felt since the hero had to make space in his busy schedule for their interns. But the real kicker comes after. While Hugs greeted Tsukuyami with a simple smile, he hugged Nix for a long time. And they were clearly having an emotional moment that could be chalked up with a particularly braver fan who asked Hugs for the hug. This is atrocious. You furrow your brows. I would never ask a Hugs for a hug. That would be incredibly disrespectful. These people should inform themselves before writing. But as they exited the station, Hugs put the final touch to what was a clearly romantic scene. After having made Tsukuyomi depart on his own in order to get some privacy, he proceeded to pick up the girl and fly away with her in her arms. If that isn't romance, then I don't know what it is. You clearly don't, you deadpan. Now, my dear readers, I think a few words about our young lucky lady are in order. You feel your blood drain from your face quickly, closing the article before it can start exposing your private life. You find yourself back at Mina's chat. She's online right now, which means she's noticed you saw her text. Mina, you cried. How many people read that newspaper? It's not a newspaper, more of a gossip magazine, she replies. I think the only people who read it in the class are Hagakure and I. Maybe Mineta and Kaminari, but they would go for the heroine section. You let out a breath of relief. At least there's no way your parents or Inasa or who the fuck knows overhaul sees that. It would be impossible to explain to your parents. They would pick you up the straight away and prohibit you from having any contact with any pro hero ever. Now that you think about it, of course it's a stupid gossip magazine. No self-respecting newspaper would just randomly accuse an adult to have a secret relationship with a student because they hugged once. Like, seriously, they don't have anything better to do with their lives. Stop avoiding the questions now, Mina complains. You've got to tell me. We're not together, you immediately say. He just picked me up because I would have reached the agency centuries after him. It was a logical decision. We do know each other, as you guessed from the autograph, but there isn't anything romantic. Not like you aren't waiting for Hawks to fall madly in love with you. Of course you are, but the press is not a plan. This is not a plan far for your future. You can simp in peace and off the photos of you and become public domain. You're hiding something, Mina shoots back. You're always hiding something. Well, she's not wrong, but that's not the point. I'm really not. We're not together. After a few seconds of silence, her reply comes in front of a good. You furrow your brows. What does good mean? It's good you aren't in a relationship? Mina looks like the first one who would rush over you and ask you a ton of questions. That way, I can just woo him myself, she cries, and you roll fondly your eyes. You got my full permission to do so. No, I have to sleep though. I have to sleep though. I just hope nobody else saw it. You and Mina exchange a quick good night, and then you're left alone. You should really sleep. But the article's words keep swimming in your head. You can't really say you're surprised. Hux is constantly under the spotlight, and you became to the moment you stepped inside this world. You're luckily it was just a stupid gossip magazine. No one reads. You take a deep breath. No need to panic. Nobody saw it anyway. Just take deep breaths and sleep will come. Yeah, I should have entered with hunger with Conhead. Oh my god! The distress scream is what welcomes Aizawa when he enters the teacher's room the next morning, ready to enjoy a quiet day without his problem children. He should have known that was an unreachable dream. Shota! Mick cries at the moment Aizawa step of foot inside. Shota! It's terrible! It's a nightmare! Aizawa wonders whether one of his favorite bands split again, or maybe he had to take a trip into the library and get scolded for the volume of his voice. What is it? He asks. Look! Mike replies, thrusting the phone onto his face. Aizawa squints bitterly at the brightness, managing to discern the title of the article and a couple of pictures. It takes him a second of squinting before he understands what's the pictures are showing. He exhales. That fucking bird. He did it, Shota! Mike laments, tightening his head back at the noble lady about to faint. He did it! He stole your first fan! How could you let this happen? Hogs has tons of fans already. He doesn't need one more. You have to take her back. You're being ridiculous, Aizawa scoffs. Like you always are. But what about this? Mick throws the phone to his face again. He's making it look all wrong in front of the press. Aizawa relents, reading the first lines, and suffice to say he doesn't like them. At all. For all her strength and cleverness, King is new to the hero world, and Hawk should have known better than making a scene in the middle of the station. He knew what it would lead to. Is he being stupid or purposely careless? I should just I should just have made him crash into the ground when I have the chance. Isawa murmurs as he sits down. Mike is left in absolute silence. It's the first time he hears Aizawa admit to someone annoyance towards his supposed rival, and he would have never expected this day would come. He wonders whether he had just imagined it, since Aizawa doesn't look phased in the slightest. Meanwhile, said man is finally realizing some quiet when the door is thrown open. Palely, wily, and messy hair. Midnight barges inside. I got mixed text. I got mixed text. What does it? I can't. I got mixed text. What does it mean that Hawks stole your first fan, Shota? Not the first time. Aizawa wishes he was at home with his cats. The second day is spent following Hawks around while he catches criminals. It's better than in canon, since this is at least real training. Tokoyami must follow him using his new technique, while you have to always stay in your shadows. This proves to be a problem when midday comes, but otherwise, you're faring quite well. Filling in and out of blackness is becoming easier, as natural as a fish diving back into the sea. Ops is proud of your progress too, and you two keep complimenting each other for the hour to end on end. For lunch, you stop by a chicken wings fast food, which gives you flashback to to every Hawks fan fiction ever greeting. Tokoyami looks deeply unsettled, and you briefly wonder if on the cannibalism technicality of all of it. But Hawks doesn't seem to care. I was wondering, little fan, the man hums as you fly back to Oyajitsu. You say you can use pieces of your shadow to create small objects. Can you do that with other people's shadows too? I have no idea, you shrug. Why do you ask? No reason, he shrugs. I was just thinking that if you manage to turn off two bad guys' shadows and make them wings out of it, we could fly together. Oh, stop! He gives you a wink, and you feel your cheeks heat up, in spite of how admittedly cute the offer is. You don't fancy going in search of two villains, cutting their shadows, and among agonizing screams, and taking off flying as if nothing happened. Pretty macabre. Sometimes you think your power would be a lot easier if you were a villain with no morals. If you just learn to make them a clean cut, instead that the messy patchwork your last attempts result in. But how can you train for something like that? Either by hurting others or hurting yourself. Maybe you can start severing your shadowy finger just for practice and keep doing it until it's a neat cut. Your finger shouldn't hurt too much, right? And the shadow will attach to itself pretty quickly. You're really a masochist, Athena. Upsy says in your mind. You shrug. Maybe you are. At least she doesn't feel pain from it, since she's not physically inhibiting the body. Perhaps, but it's the only form of training I can have. You could always fight against more of those monsters. Upsy sends you mental images of the Nomu. They aren't even human. You frown. It's not like Nomos pop out of nowhere. And besides, they would obliterate me. It would be nice to have fly. It would be nice to fly together. You murmur, having almost forgotten Hux is still waiting for your answer. Maybe one day I will be able to do it. He gives you a fun smile. I'll wait for it then. As the evening approaches, you're forced to face the elephant in the room. Canon. You choose Hux perfectly aware that he wasn't involved with the hero killer, but that doesn't mean you don't intend to at least try. You know things and, well, the good guys win and the bad guys loses. But all the good guys get gravely injured and and it will take just a moment of distraction to things to go turn very bad. What if Izuku arrives 1 second later? What if Todoroki does? What if they don't touch an attack? Technically, none of this should happen since you won't influence the fight. But what if it isn't so? What if some strangely butterfly makes Izuku pause for a second because as he runs over to save Ida and he arrives too late? Furthermore, you feel tremendously guilty for not managing to stop Ingenium. It's still clear whether he's been injured as badly as in canon, but it is just as devastated, so it must be a terrible either way. He hasn't even answered your message from yesterday. He clearly is every bit of hell-bent on revenge as in canon. Rationally, there's nothing you could have done, not without paying too big of a price. But emotionally, you feel like shit. You just want things to go well. And maybe you're paranoid, but you feel like it would be better if only you could participate. Which means it's time to say, fuck canon! In the evening, when your training is finished and Tokoyami exits to change, you fiddle with your clammy fingers and decide to hit the nail right on the head. I was thinking we could do a different training tomorrow? Hawk raises a brow, inviting you to go on. What type? Well, there's no way to say this naturally, isn't there? Like you said, there are some skills which I can only practice with villains, and it's also important to face serious opponents. It is? Hawk easily agrees. I can have you fight the next thief we find. That wouldn't be a big of a training, you deadpan. No serious villains show their face here. They know you would catch them in 2 seconds flat. Hawk sprint at the compliment, feathers stiffly ruffled. Then, what are you thinking about? Traveling to villain land? Something like that? You sweat drop and realizing it's now or never. I was thinking about Hosu? Hosu? That's pretty far. Why? You stretch the back of your head, heart beating like a drum. Well, you probably know that that's where the hero killer is right now, Athena-chan. Hawks interrupts you, laying a hand on your head. While I do admire your strength, fighting the hero killer is a bit of a stretch of your part. I'm not saying I would fight him, you hastily explain. It's just, with his presence, more villains will feel brave enough to show up, and even if we don't meet him, you'll be there, obviously. I wouldn't be charged on my own. The words died on your tongue the moment Hawks leans and a teasing smile on his lips. Little fan, he hums. You're hiding something, aren't you? You gulp. But honestly, you were expecting him to buzz you, and you have the perfect skill at hand. There is a friend of mine, you admit, lowering your eyes, in Hosu. He's interning with the hero manual, and I know he chose that town because of the hero killer. Ah, young heroes, Hawk sighed. They're always thinking they can't defend anyone. It's not that. You shake your head. This boy, he's Ingenium's brother. He's suffering a lot, although he doesn't show it. Hawk's frown, suddenly serious. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just I'm worried about him. I won't let this hinder on my training, of course. I'm here to improve first and foremost. But if we could join the two things somehow, I would be a lot calmer. For the rest of the internship too. I just want to make sure he's not being careless, and we can also train in Hosu. For extremely long seconds, Hawks stays silent. A drop of sweat rolls down the back of your neck as you wonder whether you made it worse. Maybe he realized there's something deeper at play. Maybe he'll get offended because, after all your talk about concentrating on your training, you're getting distracted by your feelings. Or maybe he'll consider your hope so childish that he won't even trust you to be a hero anymore. When you finally raise your gaze, you find his face a few inches from yours. Hey! With pondering eyes and lips pursuing concentration. You bolt backwards. Tell me, Athena-chan, he says. Is he your boyfriend? What the fuck? Out of all the questions he could have asked, you weren't expecting this. No, you reply. He's my friend. Hawk schemes again, trying to look into your very soul. You offer him your usual passive expression, with a tinge of confusion, and for a few seconds, you stay blocking this weird stalemate. I see. He smiles, leaning back. Good, good. You know, all your friends you would have to be approved by me first, right? Oh my god. You cover your face with your hands, letting a garbled sound. Hugs? Stop it. You're embarrassing me. I'm not. You are. Really? And here I wanted to tell you that we can go to Hosu tomorrow. Your split opens in a little grin. Really? Really? Hog nods, clearly amused. Of course, I expect you to pay very close attention to your training. We wouldn't want to waste your potential. Of course! You nod frantically. I would never do that. I'm honored you offered me an internship and I won't waste this opportunity. Hux chuckles fondly. I know. But hey, going to Hosu could prove beneficial. You have a point about not many criminals being around here, and I would really like to see your shadow and severance skills at work. Maybe we can get those wings. What do you say about it? We would have to find two dangerous criminals, but it's possible. I'm glad you actually listened to me. Hux, I know my suggestion could sound childish, and no need, little fan. He pokes your forehead. For a moment, his eyes falls on the feather behind your ear, softening a tenderness that steals your breath away. You're a bright girl, he smiles. I trust you. If you say we should go keep some ass in Kosu, we'll go keep some ass in. You got him and throwing yourself in his chest. Welcome with a fur of his jacket. He wastes no time wrapping his arms around you, bringing you closer. You're awesome, you mutter. He laughs and lays a hand on your head. You're not so bad either, little fan. Stop! Hux and I aren't together. Mira, good. Meanwhile, in Mina's brain, oh my god, good? What did you say, good? That's so gay. She'll know. Quick, you say the straightest things ever. Something every totally straight girl would say. That way I could just woo him myself. Lol, valid. Oh my god. Oh, I can't. It's so much when it's Hawks. Fighting the hero killer. No, stop. We are going to leave it there. We are on the 60th chapter. I'm thinking. Yes, indeed, I'm thinking. Okay, so we are nine. Yeah, nine. Yeah, 9 chapters remain from this fanfic. I'm assuming 2 more streams, probably. If everything goes down the road as it should. Maybe this Friday. Oh, I don't know. I'm thinking. I'm looking like this Friday. Yeah, what time? Yeah, look, this Friday or tomorrow. Maybe we could finish the story. So, like, we finish this week the change in history, and next week, probably, if everything goes according to the plan, we will be starting with the heartbreaker one. I'm curious. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here. Let me just get here, and bam. Let's get the music on again. And like, this has been awesome. It was so, oh my gosh, it was so, I don't have words. I'm so flustered right now. So flustered, but it was also so cute seeing all the Todoroki monologue, the rate of thought he was having. Is like, it's so well written. What the fuck? Oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm going to leave the stream for now. Again, thank you for supporting me and my channel. If you want more about this or to be present on this reaction thingy, make sure to subscribe and activate the notifications, because as you can see, I don't have a schedule for doing the streams. It just happened. And what else? Yeah, if you want to continue reading this incredible story, you should go to the description. I'll always leave the link to the profile of the author and to the story itself. Oh, my throat is hurt. I didn't drink enough water. Anyways, thank you again for everything, and we'll be seeing each other on the next stream. This is my way to being out, so I'll be seeing you. Bye!